You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media. It is 12. Welcome and thank you for joining us, and thank you for choosing Salam Media as your broadcast of choice. My name is Mari Mokwanda and I'm still with you until 1 p.m. So it is time for our hit list, and today we are featuring a 26-year-old graduate who decided to walk 800 kilometers to raise funds for education and sporting resources for rural Eastern Cape schools. His name is Thami Manganya, and he is on the line right now to tell us more. Good day, Thami, and thank you for joining me.
I'm thankful too, ma'am. I'm thankful too, ma'am.
All right, so you've started your walk or already covered a couple of kilometers. Yesterday, today rather, you picked up from where you left off, and how is the journey going thus far?
I'm going very, very well. I think it is the best day of the 3 or 2 past days. I think this one is the best compared to the previous ones. I've said.
Is it because of the weather?
Uh, and not necessarily because of the weather, because at least it's my first day with a car now, and I'm no longer like having the backpack on me and stuff, because it was also playing on a role on me to like not to cover as much distance as I could, and now I'm not having anything on my back. I managed to be fast as I can.
All right. So your aim is to raise a 1.28 million rand for education and sports resources for rural schools in the Eastern Cape. Why embark on such a course like this?
Uh, I'll say this is something that's very close to my heart, and at the moment I won't lie, I'm not like having the resources to do that or like fulfill my dreams when it comes to the rural in terms of education and school and education and sports. So I decided to use what I have, which is my legs and my body, to get what I do not have, so that I can brighten the future of the youngsters in the villages. So I'm doing this thing mainly because it's something that I love so much, something that I'm very passionate about.
Mhm. There have been many challenges and campaigns similar to the one that you have embarked on. What makes this one so unique?
Well, ma'am, I didn't get you right.
There have been many campaigns and challenges similar to the one that you have embarked on. So, what makes yours so unique?
Mine, to be honest with you, when I was doing this campaign of mine, I didn't know that there were like a lot of people who've done it before. So I just wanted to do anything unique. Um, I looked at summiting the mountains such as Mount Kilimanjaro and Mount Everest, but then they were too far and they were like very costly. So I was like, I have to look for something local.
Mhm.
I saw like things like cycling and other things that are normally done by the other people. So I saw this thing of walking as something that maybe have been done by a few people. If for years there's a few that I know who have done it, but I only found out about them when I had already decided that I'm gonna be doing this thing. And I thought maybe I would be the first one maybe doing it and stuff. But when I did my research, I found out that no, there are some who've done it before.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'll say that when it comes to their challenges and whatnot, for me, um, I didn't know much of that. As I'm telling you, that I thought maybe I'd be the first one doing it. So I never knew much about their challenges and stuff. As for me, if you ask me about my challenges,
Mhm.
at first there were a lot of challenges because I didn't even have a car. I didn't even have like people to accompany me and something like that until I started. And on the day of starting, even back home, they were like, Tom, if there's no car, you just don't have to do this because you'll be jeopardizing your life and something like that. Yes, also, I was thinking of that, but at the same time, I was like, if I don't do this thing now, when will I do it? Because I do want it as I'm not having resources. So if I'm like postponing, what will I be doing? Because
Mhm.
the idea came to me for a reason. I had to then execute the idea regardless of other people's different ideas regarding the issue. So as I said to go forward, even today there are ones who are having like negative remarks regarding the work and stuff. But for me, that didn't matter. there was time when I was like, nah, even if I raise maybe 50 rand or something, but I would have shown like my commitment and my dedication when it comes to my people, when it comes to those ones that I feel like they are forgotten or maybe ignored by the ones who are having power.
Hmm. Now, what has your family and friends had to say about this?
At the beginning, as as I've said, my mom was like, if there's a car to escort you, I'm not having an issue. But if there's
Mm.
no car, you have to cancel that thing of yours. And some others, like my uncles and aunts, also they were having like the very same feeling about the thing. They were saying the same thing my mom was saying. But the day before even, they're like, nah, you have to call this thing of yours off. You can't do this. You gonna be killed along the way and stuff like that. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna be doing it, raining or not. But I'm going forward even if I'm alone. But I'm gonna get home.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But the following, like all the first day, at least the reception from the people was very positive. I ended up like being sponsored with a car,
Mm.
and there's a lot of people who are offering and also some donating. So at least.
Mm-hmm. All right. That means that it's definitely working. It's definitely making an impact. And this is 800 kilometers that you've decided to embark on in just 20 days. How do you plan on achieving this?
The plan was to like walk or cover about 42 Ks a day. So my plan is to do that. And even if I don't, I have to do a minimum of 42. I can do 50 or something more than 50, but it doesn't have to be less than 50. I mean, it doesn't have to be less than 42
Mm-hmm.
for me to get home on the specified or on that date on the 18th of June. I don't have to get home beyond that date. So if I'm keeping my distance or I keep like doing the thing like consistently having that 42 pays a day or something, I'm gonna get home like on the 18th of June. But then yesterday, if I be honest, it was a bad day because instead of covering like 42 Ks, I ended up doing like 28 Ks because the day following like the first day, I didn't have like an accommodation, so I had to find a nearby place, a place where I felt like it is proper, it is like safe for me. The cold and stuff didn't matter at that point because I just wanted to be safe. So
Mm-hmm.
I was accommodated at a certain petrol station, and I had to sleep there, but I didn't sleep like comfortably or anything like that
Mm.
because the priority at that time was only their safety. And the following day, my body was very tired.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, yesterday I didn't like cover up to that 42 of mine. Ended up covering only 28, but then in like covering up the lost time or the lost kilos, I think today I'll try to put the socks up so that I can cover the yesterday's time so that at least the average can be there by 42 days.
Mm-hmm. All right, so good luck to you. Let's talk about the quality of education. I mean, you are doing this for rural schools in the Eastern Cape. How is the education in areas like Kavara, where you grew up?
Uh, when it comes to that, I'll say that it is the worst in the country. It
Mm.
is the worst in the country. You can see it in the metric results that are depicting that. It's so bad because we don't even have like sufficient resources. And sometimes I'm getting worried because it's now COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
back home at our schools, we had to share like reading material, meaning that if they are doing that now because there's like insufficient material, they have to ignore the social distancing, which might like lead to a lot of spread or fast spreading of the COVID-19. So that's one of my worries. And also when it comes to the basic things like shoes or let me just say uniform, you can see that kids are like from the very underprivileged backgrounds, but then they try and willing to go to the study, but their circumstances they do not allow them to. And some of us, most of our peers even ended up going for work because back home when you're having like metric or something,
Mm-hmm.
the situation forces you to like go work because there's more pressure. You feel like you're the one who's supposed to be taking care of your family. You feel like a family leader or something like that. So most of them they took that route, and some of us we were just single-minded. Yes, we felt the burden on our shoulders, but then we're like, nah, we want this thing. We want at least maybe 1 degree or something, and after that we can go west. And as for myself, when I want to do something, I do that thing regardless of anything, or no matter who says what. Even my
Mm-hmm.
mom knows if I want to do something, I want to do that something because I'm seeing like I'm looking at the bigger picture. And also, what I like the most is the fact that when I do something on my own, even when it gets fires, I don't blame anyone. Unlike
Mm-hmm.
being told to go work, and when things are not working out, you're blaming someone else. You like, if you did let me go to school, I'd be a pilot or something else. So as for me, they know that when it comes to education or something else, when I had to go like to vet, I had to choose like the courses of my choice, not being
Mm-hmm.
like influenced by my mom or anyone. I just came back to them telling them that I'm doing this and that because I wanted to do something. If it tells me or I'm not passing it, it was going to be a blame on myself, not like blaming my mom or anyone else. And that way, that's the only way that makes me feel better about everything, even about the work. Even if
Mm-hmm.
I did work or something that happened to me or something like that, I was going to blame myself because at least my mom tried to warn me about this and stuff. But for me, I was like, nah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at the bigger picture. It might not be as bad as that thinking. Maybe it might be the very opposite of that. Hence, I ended up embarking on this journey.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, you planning on raising 1.28 million rand. How do you plan to disperse the funds?
Um, I'm going to ask for assistance from the Eastern Cape Department of Education or even schools. Try to talk to teachers so they can help me identify those needy students or needy learners, not like at a particular school, like at any school whereby the assistance is needed. It can be there by Drujwa, in Lusikisiki, in Patawet, or anywhere in the Eastern Cape, particularly the former Transkei region. So, so for now, I really like pinpoint or like identified in the schools because I wasn't sure of the success of this campaign, even though I was doing it with like good intentions, but being realistic, I wasn't sure that it's gonna be like successful or something like that. I just wanted people to see the idea, to
Mm-hmm.
look at the bigger picture as well, and get to help as well. Now that the support is there and stuff, so I'm going to do as I'm saying, like going to schools, asking teachers to help me identify the needy students, needy pupils and stuff, so that I can be able to distribute properly and also take the other amount into sport because that's the other sector that I believe is very like it's a pillar of the community development, it's a pillar of like rural development because through sport someone can be able to like bring something on the table. If I tell you there's no one I know, there's no like one, not even one professional soccer player that I know from my
Mm-hmm.
village. Not that they're not having a talent, they're having it, but they're not having like platforms to showcase their talent. So if
Mm-hmm.
someone drops out of school, it means that it's the end of the road for him or her because there's nothing else we can do. We just have to go for like for the hard labor or something like that. Although he had like a chance of like using his talent to get far.
Mm-hmm. And because of that, do bursaries and scholarships even come at all?
Uh none at the moment I'd say. None.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said scholarship, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, none at the moment. Maybe as time goes because it's still the early days. So I'm hoping for more support from different stakeholders and individuals as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tammy, please stay on the line. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll continue thereafter.
Thanks. Thanks.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies, from exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
At this time of trial and worry, the blessings of charity are the ideal means to avoid calamity and despair. The Al Imdad Foundation gives you the opportunity to sponsor a share in a borehole in South Africa for just 1,000 Rand and provide what the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, called the best form of charity. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and I'm still chatting to 26-year-old Wits graduate Thami Manganya, who has decided to walk 800 kilometers to his hometown in Dutiwa to raise funds for education and sporting facilities for rural areas in the Eastern Cape, and he plans to aim to raise 1.28 million rand. Thami, thank you for staying on the line. Now, tell us about some of the stakeholders that have already bought into the idea, and some of them are coming from the Eastern Cape. Thami?
Hello, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for staying on the line now. There are some Eastern Cape stakeholders that have joined in. Tell us about them.
The first one is Xhosa Kingdom. I did approach them, and they came on board because I'm from their land. I'm from there by the Kalega land where the great place of Amaxhosa is, and also I happened to do my high school at Kodingizo SSS, which is the high school next to the great place, and it is named after the former king of Amaxhosa, King Kodingizo. And it was very easy to talk to them because also they were willing to support us. I'm from their land and I'm from their schools, because now Kodingizo is like more of their school. So they were like, "No, you can't be doing this without us, because you our product, thereby we ought to support you." And the one is is the Basel local municipality back home. So I just approached them because I felt like they are the relevant people in my place. So I just talked to them, proposing my idea, and they liked it, and they were like, "No, we can't be left out of this. So we just have to be joining and helping you here and there." And just a few days ago, like on Thursday.
Yeah. Thami? Right, so it seems like we've lost Thami there. He was telling us about some of the stakeholders that have joined him, that have embarked on his journey, and are also participating. Well, not participating in the actual walk, but participating to help Thami to raise the funds that he is looking for, 1.28 million rand. 1,280,000 rands for education and sporting resources for rural Eastern Cape schools. Thami is based, his hometown is in Dutiwa, and he hopes to complete this mission by Friday, the 18th of June. That means walking 42 kilometers per day to reach his goal in time. Thami is back on the line. You were talking about the Mbashe local municipality in the Eastern Cape.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, hi, Thami. You were talking about the Mbashe local municipality who have also embarked on your walk. Hello, Thami.
They're like, nah, they can't be left out of the
Hmm.
initiative because they feel like it is too great and
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it is wonderful to see that the community leadership have decided to participate in this, because it needs to come from the community as well. We can't just expect somebody
so
on the
so
outside.
ma'am,
Tammy,
I,
I think our lines are cutting somewhere. So when
yeah,
when you
yeah,
speak, then I think that you are done when you're not in fact done. But it's okay. We will continue. So besides the community leadership that have decided to embark on this,
I'm cutting out.
can you hear me clearly, Tammy?
It's breaking, ma'am.
All right. Tammy, if the lines are breaking up, if you can hear me, um, move around a little bit so that we can get your signal.
Uh, hey, sorry, sir. Okay, ma'am, I'll try.
All right. So let me know if you are starting to hear me a little bit more clear.
And let me try to move in just a few seconds.
All right. If
Um,
anyone has any comments or questions for Tammy, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. You can also call us in studio on 01088022396. The lines are open. We're just waiting for Tammy to for the signal to be better. And
yeah,
Tammy, is it better now?
I think it's better now.
All right. What advice would you like to give to our listeners out there, people who are listening, people who are interested in your journey?
So you were asking what?
What advice would you like to give to people listening in on the conversation that we're having and are interested in your walking for education?
My advice would be, that's difficult. Would be like telling them like to it's mostly about sharing. They must share what they have, regardless of how much of the, if they feel like it's too need maybe to share or something, they might as well like give it all to someone else if you feel entitled, because that's how I am. If I'm having like a slice of bread and someone is having like nothing, we either share or I give it all to him or her. And also, most importantly, is like keep like looking at the bigger picture, regardless of where you're coming from or anything. That thing has nothing to do with your future. Yes, you might be from like a very well-off family, but yet having like a very very I'll say not having like a bright future or something like that. But it happens like to be a vice versa. Whereby you from like a very dusty street of the township or the villages, but then you see the opportunities there. You like, nah, even though I started like in the villages of Tuja, but I feel like going and study there by Harvard or going to study at Oxford, even though you're from the villages, but you're not allowing that thing and you're not limiting your thinking, because us tend to like uh tend to allow poverty to open or to close many things, to not allow us to see beyond what we can see, because the poverty, like I'll say, it's a hindrance. It's a
Mhm.
hindrance when it comes to information and to a lot of things. So we end up doing what we know and not ready to explore and doing what we've never seen before. So now is that time as well of fourth industrial revolution, whereby we're seeing new things every day. We are having like the cars, like the riding companies here, whereby they're not owning even a car, but then they're using our cars, renting our cars to make money for themselves. Why? Because they did something that wasn't there before. So us, we're just following the trend. We're not ready to be the trendsetters. So I say that they just have to be looking at the bigger picture, not listening on what Tanya says or anything, because they're also having like their way of seeing life, not
Mhm.
necessarily the way I'm seeing it. And if they are using my way of doing things, it might not work out, because we all different. We just have to believe in our dreams and ideas and try to execute them as much as we can, as long as it doesn't like violate anyone's rights. You have every right to do that.
Mm-hmm. Right. And quickly, how can people get a hold of you if they would like to know more or to donate?
I'm available at 063
Mm-hmm.
368
Mm-hmm.
1964.
All right. So thank you so much, Thami, for your time and good luck with your endeavors.
Thanks so much, man.
Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Thank you.
That was Thami Manganya, a Wits graduate who has decided to embark on an 800-kilometer walk to the Eastern Cape to raise 1.28 million rand to provide education and sporting resources for rural Eastern Cape schools. And he plans to reach his goal by Friday, June 18th. If you'd like to know more, you can follow his journey on social media, on Twitter, and you can also give him a call on 063 368 1964. If you find him on the roads, if you see him on the roads, and you can hoot in solidarity with him, or do whatever it is that you would like to do, but do not be violent. Do not be that person. It is 12:26. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda, and we will be right back.